All right, hello everyone, it's your boy Zero, and I'm here with
Hammling, what's up?
and we are at Comicon New York City 2021. Hamm is an amazing artist and a good friend of the channel. Hamm, tell everybody online what you've been working on.
Nothing's really changed for me, honestly. Throughout 2020s and the 2021s, all I've been doing has been drawing. So eat, sleep, draw, basement, vitamin E deficiency. You know, same old, same old. But other than that, I've been working on issue 2 of my comic Monkey and Peach, which we're going to launch on Kickstarter pretty soon. And I've been working for a bunch of Twitch streamers, doing my own art here at New York Comic Con, and you can catch me at Anime NYC in 2 months.
Awesome, don't worry, we're gonna be right there with you in another month or two, okay? Anime NYC is a lot of fun. Now, is there any new art that you have up here that you want to talk about that you created and people have liked, actually?
Are you really going to make me do this?
Yes.
Destroy my art. This is all my art. Will Smith meme. Let the art speak for itself.
All right, let me phrase the question in another way.
Yeah.
Because we were here earlier, we wanted to talk to you, but you were packed. People were surrounding you like crazy. What's been the most popular, I guess, poster or sticker or whatever that people have been gravitating towards?
Honestly, everybody, I think I'm about to sell out on Azula. Everybody really loves Azula, and it's kind of cool that people still have this interest in Avatar: The Last Airbender, especially after all these years. Like, there's a resurgence of Avatar, so I'm all with it.
I mean, us too. In all honesty, there's still that Netflix real-life adaptation of Avatar that's supposed to happen. Even though the original creators left, I mean, that's probably why people still have Avatar in their minds. Okay, now last year during the Australian bushfires, you did some commissions for some people trying to raise awareness and also donate some money to the bushfires back then. Would you like to talk a little bit about that?
I wanted to try and contribute some help because I feel like environmental issues are a big thing that's happening these days, and I just want to try to help out, get some relief. It sounded like there was a lot of trouble going on with it, and they need a little bit of help. So I just wanted to do a little bit. So I did sketches that I would donate towards charities fighting the fires in Australia, and I did one for Nanners and trying to do something, you know?
Indeed. The cool thing about the sketch you did for Nanners, it was for a game called Valkyria Chronicles, and the awesome thing is you actually sent him a time-lapse of you creating the thing, and we're going to be playing a little bit of that right now, so it's pretty cool. We really enjoyed it. Nanners showed it off on his Twitch channel as well, so that's pretty cool. Is there anything that's coming up for you in the future? Anything that you're working on that you want people to know about?
Monkey and Peach issue 2, Kickstarter, kickstarter.com, twitter.com/HamlingU, instagram.com/HamlingU. Yeah, yo, what's up? That's it. Follow my art. I'm just doing my thing. I need some food. I'm tired.
And that's been our interview with Hammling. Thanks for watching, guys. Hey everyone, it's your boy Zero.
And I'm Nanners.
And we're here again at New York City Comic-Con 2021. It is now Saturday. Well, actually the end of the day on Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. And we just wanted to talk a couple of things real quick about the show. Just show you about what we did today and show off some of the stuff that, once again, we bought a couple of things. So first off, I went ahead and I bought myself a game at New York City Comic Con. That's right, they have games here. You should know we interviewed Daniel from Video Games in New York. So I went ahead and bought a game called Tanuki Justice. This is actually an interesting game because it's not just that it's a game, but it's by the Video Games New York software team. So they have their own team, and they make their own games. I mean, that's pretty neat. I was saying this earlier to Zero. I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's kind of like when you go to a bar and it turns out that the bar makes its own beer or makes its own alcohol or something like that. That's pretty neat. Like, they don't just sell games. They also have a software portion too that makes the games as well. I did get to play a tiny bit of it. It's hard as hell. It's described as an intensive run and gun, which you play as Tanuki characters, or for Americans, that would be raccoons. But the thing is that, honestly, it's like way more like Ninja Gaiden. And that's actually why I picked it, because I took a look at it. I'm like, okay, really goofy sized characters, like squarey sized characters, and also tons of stuff going all over the place, projectiles. I'm like, this seems like Castlevania. I want to get this. It was pretty neat. And what's also really cool, we may have showed this off when we were opening it up earlier today, but it comes with a little certificate here of authenticity for the copy that this actually is. So that shows you that, hey, this is an authentic copy of this game when it came out. And I think that's pretty good, pretty neat. Once again, I believe that that's a big core part of Video Games New York. What they do is making sure that, I mean, they're selling like collectible items. So they want to make sure you had something for that.
Video Games New York is all about quality, and again, this game is quality. It's just hard as balls, all right? Now, I also got some more stuff. Over here in this acrylic box, I got myself some more Digimon cards. I unboxed 2 more packs, and I got myself some awesome rare cards, a holographic Metal Garurumon and a holographic Magna Angemon. Some awesome cards. I also ended up getting myself some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Now, I'm trying to build a deck that's focusing on Time Thieves. Time Thieves do a lot of weird things on the field, like move things out of the field, bring them back a few turns later and stuff like that. I think it's a pretty cool mechanic, so I found some cards to help me build that kind of deck. I also got a really cool card. You can see here behind the acrylic, you see Shenron from Dragon Ball. This card actually came with a shirt at the Funimation booth. Earlier today, Nanners and I and another friend of ours, Jessica, we decided to go to the Funimation booth outside of the convention center and actually turn one of those gacha machines. What are they called? Those turning vending machines that you get like a little ball out of and there's like a little figure inside of it? We've all used it. We just never knew what to really call it. In Japan, I believe they call them gachas. And inside this ball was a coin. We had to bring the coin back into the convention center itself to go to the other Funimation booth inside, give the coin in, and you get this awesome Dragon Ball card, an old school version, and on it you see Golden Frieza. Pretty cool. It was an awesome throwback. And also, they give you a cool purple Funimation shirt, as you see right here. I think it's okay. I think it's pretty cool. This is my Sunday cosplay. So this is pretty funny. For people who don't actually cosplay, not a lot of people actually cosplayed this year. There were quite a few cosplayers, but not everyone, obviously. So this would be funny for someone who got it and was able to wear it. Unfortunately, this is a small. Neither Nanners and I can wear this. So, yeah, we'll see if one of our friends can take it or something. Who knows? Now, also today, I got myself another freebie. A awesome playmat from Viz Media and Shonen Jump. For this one, you have to sign up for their subscription service, and by doing so, you get an awesome Shonen Jump playmat, as you see here, with a lot of these very popular Shonen Jump characters. You have characters representing One Piece, Dragon Ball, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia. It's an awesome playmat. I'll likely use it in one of the tournaments for the Digimon card game that's coming up. Or maybe a friend of ours would like it. I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, I think it's awesome.
And it's a good size too.
That's what she said.
Oh my God.
You opened that door. I just shut it. Now, this being Comicon, of course, there were a bunch of comics. I would actually be very upset if there weren't any comics here. So we ended up getting some free comics. One of the first ones we got was actually a comic book from NASA. Believe it or not, NASA was actually here. So they were actually giving out this free comic called First Woman, NASA's Promise for Humanity. To my understanding, it tells the story of a female astronaut going up into space and doing her stuff, and I think it's pretty cool. It's very inspirational, especially for a lot of little girls that do want to become astronauts. Over here, I got myself a signed copy of Van Helsing, a comic book by David Wohl, Anthony Spey, and Jorge Cortez. I looked through a few of the pages and it looks pretty interesting. The art is amazing. There's a lot of action in this comic book. It is a one-shot, so it's not an ongoing series. So this will be fun to read. And for anybody who's interested in like comic books, vampires, and stuff like that, this might be something you want to check out.
And that was pretty much our wrap-up of the things that we got, some of the stuff that we got for free, some of the stuff that we went out and bought at the show today. We did get to do a couple of things for Saturday. We actually went to a panel. This is the first time that I've been to a panel in a really long time, and I felt like that was kind of out of necessity. We'll get into more of that later, but we went to the main stage panel. It's one of my favorite places to see a panel at New York Comicon, specifically because it's such a large stage and you can usually get like a nice sizable event going there. A lot of cool stuff usually happens there. We saw a cosplay championship. Was interesting to see that, but that's basically about it. And because it's Saturday and both Zero, myself, we're not coming back tomorrow. We're basically done here. So why not? Let's go with a little bit of a verdict for New York Comic Con 2021, starting with Zero.
As you guys see, we're still wearing masks. We're still in this darn pandemic. And of course, when we heard that Comic-Con was coming back this year, the both of us were kind of weary about it. Like, wait a minute, how are they going to pull this off? Obviously, you see these little wristbands over here. This tells us that, this tells everyone that you've been vaccinated. One of the main things you need to do is get vaccinated to come into Comic-Con. That's a huge relief for us because that means less exposure. Also, everybody is forced to wear a mask. So that already put me at ease. This made me comfortable enough to come to a convention like this. Also, they capped the number of people that were able to come to the convention. And I'm pretty sure Nanners over here can agree with me. It's very relieving to be able to walk through the Javits Center and not have to bump into a person every 2 or 3 steps. It's actually quite refreshing to be able to walk through the convention, see what you want, and not be like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I stepped on your foot. Oh my God, I elbowed your grandma. It's annoying. It was really annoying in past years. However, the downside to that is that you're not going to have these big companies come to Comic-Con if they're not going to have huge crowds of people. So no Nintendo, no Sony, no Microsoft. You're also not going to have Capcom or Konami. They've been here several years in the past. This year, they all decided to dip and just not come. And that did impact the quality of Comic-Con as a whole for me. I was very used to going to these huge booths, seeing all these crazy things come, announcements, demos, talking about big companies. DC and Marvel are not even here. Like, that's pretty crazy for Comic-Con. They're always here, and they had no showing. So again, just the fact that we didn't have any huge announcements here, no super crazy events by these huge companies, no demos for games or anything like that, it did bring down the excitement of the convention. But just for the fact that I was able to walk around with my buddies, not bump into people, just chill and have a good time, 4.5 achy feet out of 5. It could have been better. It was still a lot of fun. I got a lot of cool stuff. And you know what? If they do this again next year, I'll still come. Just for the fact that, again, if they still have a mask mandate, people still need to be vaccinated, and they limit the amount of people, there's no reason why I shouldn't come. It was still a lot of fun. What do you think, Nanners?
A lot of these things to make it possible that we can have something like this, to have a New York Comic Con this year, ended up having negative effects. Is that big publishers didn't really want to pull out. Maybe they weren't too sure that it would be worth it for them to even come out. Obviously, they have staffing concerns, things like that. So there was a lot of stuff that got impacted as a result of this. It also almost kind of felt like there were like supply issues sometimes, or we would go to like a food vendor and they just didn't have what you needed, and it was kind of like, well, this, I would understand this on Saturday or Sunday, like late, but like on a Friday, it just kind of didn't make sense, especially when there's less people. So you really felt the difference. But just from the fact that we were able to still come together and have a New York Comic Con in the first place, that's a good sign. That feels like a step forward. I feel like even though many of us took a big risk this weekend. It still feels like a lot of us needed something like this after so much time of being inside and not having anything to do, and having to miss several conventions over the last year and a half. Another thing that I would say is that, once again, I mean, one of the draws for me to reiterate, was the fact that it would feel like an old convention, which puts me in a weird place now, because after years of having the conventions, having the Comicons the way we had them, there was always this expectation of like, this company's gonna be there, that company's gonna be there. One of my earliest memories is when coming to New York Comic Con, Rockstar was here. Rockstar hasn't been here for a little while, but Rockstar had a booth and they're showing off the new Red Dead this, and there was a Grand Theft Auto thing. So it's like, I always had this expectation that these big booths were gonna be there, that these big publishers were gonna be there. But that took a hit this year, and you definitely felt the absence. You felt the strong absence. As Zero also said, there were no major announcements. But I also kind of feel like maybe, I mean, this really was about the size when I first started to come to Comic-Con. So at the end of the day, I really can't complain. And I would have to say that, like, legitimately, this is exactly what I asked for, which is why I bought my Thursday ticket, which is that I wanted to see, hey, this is going to be a Comic-Con like we haven't seen it in 10 years. And I hope that next year, if they do it again, I do hope that they still have restrictions on capacity. Obviously for safety concerns, but just in general, I have lost interest in Comic-Con for the fact that it's just become so crowded and so difficult it's so much less manageable as a convention. This year it was walkable. There was less stuff to do, but there were still things to get excited about. We still had, again, as a necessity, we ended up finding a panel just so that we could find something to do, but there was still stuff to do. And of course, it was fun to hang out with friends and just be around other nerds, be around other geeks and gamers and cosplayers, anime fans, comic book fans, enthusiasts of all different kinds. So I would have to say that I'm probably going to have to give this one 4 bubble teas out of 5. That's my review. That's my verdict. And finally, now that we're done, we can finally clip this off, because the way they set up the vaccination wristbands, I felt was a little bit of a misstep. They almost set it up kind of like one of those finger traps where if you pull on it, you can't loosen it. So the first day when I got this on Thursday, I accidentally tightened it and I'm like, oh, that won't be a problem. I'll just loosen it. And oh, I can't do that. I can't loosen it. So I've been trying to wear this as much as I can so I don't have to wait on the line to get this first, and then I can come in through the regular bag check. So finally we can take these off. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed our extended coverage of New York Comic Con 2021.
If you guys did, please make sure to slap that like button. Make sure to mash the subscribe button as well. And be sure to stay tuned for more awesome gaming, convention, unboxing content. We got it, and you're going to keep getting it.
Yeah, and we will be at Anime NYC and possibly also MagFest, and maybe even PAX East. Who knows? But we will be doing more conventions very likely in the future. So if you like that, do all that stuff that he said, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next Two Stupid Gamers video.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.